Hi everyone. I just wanted to send a quick video with a few announcements for this week. I added a few links in this week's module, and then I wanted just to remind you of a few opportunities. First, if you go to the modules for our class, I added two links toward the end of this week's module, right here at the bottom. The first one is a mid-semester feedback survey, and I would like your feedback about how the class is going for you, what's going well, what challenges you have. I'm also thinking because after next week, we go into a slower part of the semester, which I purposely created that way so that you could work on your interview projects. I wanted to see if there were things that we could change about the way we do class for those last few weeks, in case you all want more engagement, if you wanted some different assignments, if something was challenging for you in the first, two-thirds of the class, is there something we could change at the end to at least make it better, going toward the end of the semester? Um, that survey is completely confidential and anonymous. It's on Qualtrics, so I really won't be able to tell who filled it out. But I'll take any feedback and I'll try to change the class and update it based on that feedback. Right underneath that is an extra credit opportunity. For those of you who are in my other class, Management 531, you don't have to do this again if you already did it in class. But for those of you who are not in both of my classes, we have an extra credit opportunity that is a research survey. I'm doing some research with another colleague at another school, and we're just doing a survey of students to get their reactions on something that we show you in the survey. So if you want to do the survey, it should take 10 minutes or less. And what will happen is you'll do the survey and then it will send you to another survey asking for your name and then what class you want extra credit for. And that way your responses are confidential and anonymous. I won't be able to link your responses from one survey to another. I will tell you the students in class today, one was really confused at the beginning because the first page after you've consented to be in the study, it'll sit on that page for at least 30 seconds so that you have to look at the document that we've provided you. But after that, you can click through the survey at whatever pace you want. I will leave that open until next Friday, so until Halloween night, at 11:59 p.m. And I can send a reminder next week as well, for those of you who maybe don't have time this week to do it. The last thing I wanted to remind you of, is at the very bottom of the page, I have study abroad programs here that are available. I am doing the Nordic Study Abroad program from May 19th through the 29th. For all of you, you can get credit for Management 499, which can be an elective. So if you're doing a minor or a major in management, I'm guessing most of you are majors, you can use that as 3 hours of elective credit. And actually, that's a pretty easy class. Most of it will be in person while we're visiting businesses. We might also visit some government offices. There are other opportunities available, however, as well in Greece at the same time, in Germany and the Netherlands, and then in Orvieto, Italy for a whole month. Those have different classes. Most of them will have the Management 499, but they may have other classes that you haven't taken. I think Greece is more freshman and sophomore level classes, so there's like a jumbo class involved. Germany and the Netherlands is more focused on supply chain. And then Orvieto, I think there's going to be a negotiations class. I think, which would apply to most of your majors if you haven't taken it yet. And then I think there's going to be some business law classes, or at least one business law class. There's also some marketing classes that will be part of that program, so you may want to check that out. If you're interested in my program, just click on that link. We just got our application date extended to November 21st, so we're going to try to get enough students to have this program make. We need about 10 more students. So if you are at all interested, please fill out that application. You won't pay anything right up front because we're just trying to see who's interested and who wants to go. If you've never been abroad, I would also recommend this as a really good place to go. I just went, we're going to go to Stockholm, Sweden, and Copenhagen, Denmark. I went to both of those cities this summer. Very safe. Everyone speaks English. They're really easy to get around, and a lot of people believe that the Nordic countries are much more expensive than the US, but for tourists, they're really not. We don't pay the same taxes that people from the European Union do. So, like I actually had cheaper hotels where I went in Scandinavia than I do usually in the US. And then the food was about the same price, maybe slightly more expensive for hotel or for restaurants. So, if that's something that's kind of making you think about going, reconsider. It'll be a fun trip and we'll be done before Memorial Day. So if you are graduating or if you have an internship, You should be able to do this program. There may be ways, if you're graduating in May, that we can finagle it so you can do this program, even though it would count as summer credit. If you have any questions this week about any of the things I just talked about, or as usual, with any of the content we're going over, just email me or send me a Canvas message. Have a good week.